What is good, ladies and gentlemen? So today we're going to be talking about these things that you can see on your screen right now. Smoking, alcohol, and you sit on your ass all day and keep scrolling Instagram reels, YouTube shorts. That's all you keep doing. And matter of fact, kids are doing these things these days, and it's absolutely crazy. And one thing that I did not include here, which is, of course, it's obvious what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know. Cocaine, opium, cannabis, all of those things that you guys keep smoking and keep pumping up your veins. It's absolutely crazy what you guys keep doing. Absolutely crazy. I mean, you're not only disappointing someone like me, you're even disappointing your own parents. It's crazy. So, I mean, we're going to be talking about why you guys keep doing these things, okay? Because if you know the why, if you know the root cause and you fix that root cause, things are going to be very, very good for you, okay? But there's one huge problem with the root cause, okay? Modern day psychiatry doesn't talk about it, talks about the root cause, but it cannot fix the root cause, okay? Because the root cause is actually related to your genetics, okay? There are some pathways in your brain called as dopaminergic pathways. So dopamine is the main thing that, it drives your motivation and it drives you to get rewards, okay? And once you get those rewards, you get dopamine as well. So dopamine is that thing, okay? So there are certain pathways in brain that generate dopamine. I'm not gonna, bore you with all this nerdy stuff. I'm gonna move on to the next slide because this is all nerdy stuff, okay? You don't want to know the nerdy stuff, but, in order to know the cause, you gotta know some of it, right? So we have 4 types of pathways: mesocortical, mesolimbic, nigrostriatal, and tuberoinfundibular, okay? Out of these, the mesocortical and the mesolimbic are the pathways that are involved when it comes to you guys, the addicts, okay? And these are the pathways that are mainly involved in the motivation and reward system of your brain, okay? The pathway that motivates you, that drives you to do certain things, and the pathway that gets triggered when you receive a reward, like millions of dollars, okay? Like, yeah, of course, someone's not going to give you millions of dollars, but when you work hard for it and you make $1 million, of course, this pathway is going to get triggered and you're going to get tons of dopamine from it, okay? And then you're going to keep doing it again and again and again, and then you're going to hit a billy, and then you're going to hit trilly, okay? This is the pathway that makes millionaires and billionaires. But also, this is the same pathway that makes you a homeless guy in the streets of LA, okay? So this is a two-edged sword, and this is something that we're going to be talking about later on in the video as well. So this is the mesocortical pathway. So it starts from this area called as ventral tegmental area of your brain, okay? I'm not going to go into much details because we don't want to be nerds, okay? We just want to understand. And this is your frontal lobe of the brain, or here also exists another thing called as prefrontal cortex, okay? So this ventral tegmental area is going to give up dopamine to the prefrontal cortex. So this is the area that is going to supply all the dopamine to the prefrontal cortex, and you guys are going to feel good, okay? This is the good making you feel good hormone, right? Dopamine. So now the issue lies is that you guys genetically have a higher threshold, okay? And my psychiatry professor, he told me about this. He was like, you guys have a higher threshold, and genetically, since you genetically have a higher threshold, we cannot fix your genes, okay? Right now, gene therapy is not that advanced that we can go out there inside your brain or inside the cells of your body and we can fix the threshold for dopamine, but this is how things go, okay? And you've got to remember this, all right? So the dopamine gets released, okay? So, and this is the other one, mesolimbic, okay? So this one right here is your ventral tegmental area once again, and this is going to release dopamine, and this dopamine is going to reach the nucleus accumbens. there's a nucleus called as nucleus accumbens that is going to receive this dopamine, and you're going to feel good, okay? So we're not going to go into much of nerdy stuff on what is nucleus accumbens, what is prefrontal cortex, but what you've got to realize is that these are the areas that are going to realize that dopamine, and they're going to make you feel good, okay? So now, as I was talking about it, the addicts, you guys, have a higher dopamine threshold. So the thing is that these things, these drugs, the smoking, the alcohol, your phones, these are very, very high dopamine sources, okay? You use them, you get a really, really big surge in dopamine. Now the problem is that your threshold, which was already higher, it will get even more higher, because there's going to be a point, right, when you're going to develop some tolerance against that thing, okay? So you're going to need that thing even more. You're going to shoot those IV drugs even more. You're going to shoot that IV heroin inside your body even more to feel even more good. You're going to want even more high, okay? You would want to get even more higher. So now the thing is that it's a two-edged sword, okay? If you realize what you're doing is absolutely wrong and absolutely immoral, and you've disappointed a lot of people, including people like me, you can become a millionaire, okay? And the thing is that a lot of these millionaires like Elon Musk and a lot of these other people, like all these rappers, they do drugs. And even Elon Musk himself, he's talked about his drug addiction. So these guys are millionaires because they realized that in order to get that high dopamine, they can also make millions of dollars. And they have now made millions of dollars, and they're now on the right path. So either you can realize that and become this, or you can end up in one of the streets of LA, homeless, eating bread. Hell, they don't even have bread to eat. This guy's eating bread. You're not even gonna get bread to eat, okay? So it's up to you. What do you want to do, right? It's up to you. So now, talking about the biggest problem. So what happens is you guys get triggered, okay? You have a trigger, you start craving that thing, you use that thing, you receive the dopamine, and then you might feel the guilt. I have written D with it. It's actually T. My bad. I'm a fucking moron, I know. But anyways, guilt or withdrawal, okay? And then once you feel those withdrawal symptoms kicking up, you're gonna all shiver up, you're all gonna, start sweating and stuff, or you're gonna feel the guilt that why have I done this? And then once you feel down, once you feel depressed, once you feel anxious for doing that thing, you're gonna once again do that thing, So what we as doctors, what we are supposed to do is we have to kick this cycle right in its guts, okay? We've got to stop this right here. We do not want you to feel the withdrawal so that you go back to craving that thing once again. And even if you do go back to craving that thing once again, we want you to crave for other alternative options, okay? Like working hard in life, okay? Getting a nice, good job, getting married, having kids, because that is what is the ultimate motive of human life, right? Reproduction, okay? So have a great job, have kids, have a beautiful wife, okay? Not beautiful, okay, because some of you guys are ugly as hell. So a loving wife, okay, that is what you want to get. Okay, so our job is to make you realize that there are other things that you can do in order to get that dopamine. So guys, life is like a game of chess. Sure, you might be making some bad moves earlier, but once you realize that and make the best moves possible, you will absolutely win. So this is a quote from me and myself. So guys, you still can turn your life around and be on the right path. You're gonna be blessed by God himself, and you guys are gonna make people like me happy as well. You guys are gonna make your parents, all the people that love you, that depend on you, they're gonna be happy. And you can set an example in the society that you channeled that inner weakness and turned it into something absolutely positive. Okay, that is what you guys want to do. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to be making more stuff related to psychiatry as time goes on, and make sure to let me know in the comments how helpful was this content for you, and I'm going to be talking to you guys later. Thank you very much.